everyone, welcome back to my channel, Jamie Fran Colors. Today we're not doing coloring books, we're doing encaustic painting. So I have a nice piece of wood there that I have joint compound on, and now I'm putting on a first layer of hot wax. The wax is made of beeswax and Dema resin, and it would and it's called encaustic medium. So I've made this one my own, but you can buy encaustic medium already made up. So every time we put on a layer of wax or a layer of color, we've got to infuse it, which means to heat the wax and kind of melt the layers together. So that's what I'm doing here with my craft heat gun. Now, if you watched last week's Melting Mondays, you'll see a lot of similarities between these projects, as well as next week's. I did all three of these in one sitting, and they do go very well together. I don't know, I really like that. I think I'll be displaying these all together. I just think they go really well together. So again, more layers of wax and just heating it up. You've got to make it so it's shiny. You don't have to melt it. If you melt too much, then the wax is just going to run off of the board. So you just want to make it so it's just shiny and then move on. My voice is bugging me. So I'm putting on quite a few layers here. I think this is 3 or 4. I'm not even sure, but just want a nice thing to work on. I'm not worried about making it all nice and flat and even. This board has got ridges, and the joint compound I put on underneath isn't smooth, and that all just adds to the character of the piece. And so I'm just working with it and letting it do its thing. I think that's one thing I really like about encaustic painting, is that it's fluid and you don't always have complete control. You kind of have to relax and go with the flow and let the wax do what it wants to do, and just, you don't have complete control over the medium. And I like that. With my pencils, I have complete control. I'm putting the pressure, I'm putting it exactly where I want. And with something like wax, it flows and it moves and it pools into divots, and it runs if it's too hot, or if it cools really fast, you're going to get a different look. And so you just don't have as much control over everything to control the wax. And of course, people learn to control it more than I have, where I'm just learning. But I really like the fact that I don't have complete control over the medium itself, and I kind of have to work with whatever it gives me. So I really like that about it. So happy Monday. I hope you guys are looking forward to your week and that you have something awesome planned for this week. Okay, so I have these little papers, tissue type of papers, and I used one last week, if you'll remember, and then I put the wax over it, and it kind of disappeared, and it didn't really show through in the project. And so I want to try a little different so that I get, so I see the paper. So I've decided to put down a color first. I'm using oil paint sticks, and they're self-healing. So if you leave them alone, they'll kind of get a shell on them, and you have to kind of get rid of that shell. Sorry about my voice. So you have to get rid of that shell, kind of scrape it on something, peel away that shell, and then you get to the creamy pigment. And yeah, so I've put down kind of an orange color there. And we're going to try putting the paper over the top of the color. Last time we put the paper down and then more wax and then color, and it disappeared. So this time I'm putting down color first to see if I can get the paper to pop a little bit. And again, I'm just working with the texture of the paper and the texture of everything that's happened. want to add a little of that ochre yellow that I used on my last piece, kind of tie them in together a little bit. And I'm using gloves so that I don't get the pigment all over my fingers, and I like the way the gloves can smear the pigment. Got a few chunks there. I'm just trying to get the chunks out. On the side, just now I have a good layer of pigment, so I really need to fuse that. I hope I remember to. Oh, I do. Good job. So I'm just grabbing my heat gun and fusing it. Again, I'm just making it shiny. Once the wax is shiny, I move on. Because I don't want to move the wax around. I just want to fuse it to the layers underneath. So I just want it to be shiny. Okay. Now I'm going to lay that paper down and see how it goes. See if we just pressing it into the hot wax so it lays flat before putting wax over the top of it. We'll see if it pops a little more than it did last time. Okay, I'm putting more wax over the top of the project. I'm already noticing the pattern on that paper much more prominently than I did in our last piece. So I'm really happy with that. I think that that looks really nice. Just fusing it. My youngest is home today. I'm hoping he's being good out there and not going to get too noisy. I thought this will only take a few minutes for me to do this. I'm sure he'll be fine. But of course, it's just like when you get on the phone, you know, everybody's fine and then you're on the phone and all of a sudden the world is coming to an end. I really like that. I think, look at how that pops so much more. Like last time, I really couldn't see the pattern on the paper at all. So I think putting that pigment down first really helped. Where'd I go? Come back. Come back. Don't want to have to edit you out. I'm making my life challenge. Oh, there you are. Okay, so again, I like these transparent flowers that I used last time, and I thought at this point I'm thinking like colors are similar. I used the same paper, so maybe if I use some more of these, I can kind of make them go together, and it will look really nice. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I found these poppies. I thought they were really pretty. pressing them into the wax so they'll stay and lay flat. I love these little transparent flowers. I ordered them from an Etsy shop. I didn't realize that the Etsy shop was in China when I ordered them, and it took me like almost 2 months to get them. I thought for sure that they weren't coming. I'd kind of given up on them, but I got the paper at the same time. But they showed up, and it was exciting, and now I have them, but I don't know, that just feels like a long time. So I might have to look and see if I can find similar things somewhere else. I know China's having a really hard time right now, so with the coronavirus, and I'm just hoping everybody's okay. Everybody's staying healthy. It's really hard to, it's so scary. Just want everybody to be okay. Everybody to be happy and safe and healthy. Fusing again. Every time we put wax or color down, we have to fuse. Oh, something's happening. What's happening? I've decided that this piece needs a little edge, a little color on the edge, something a little bit darker. So I've grabbed a darker red color, and I'm just going around the edges. And it didn't go straight down there, and I was a little disappointed, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to work with it. It'll be okay. So I'm just putting the color on the edge, and then I'm going to blend with my finger. Bring it down on the corners a little bit. And I really like the way it looks. I just think it helps everything kind of pop, gives it a frame. It's really pretty. And of course, since we put pigment down, we need to fuse. So let's grab that heat gun and fuse that pigment in. Come on, girl, you can do it. I really like that red color. I think it's kind of like, it's a kind of a poppy color, you know, that reddish orange color. So even though the poppies aren't colored red and orange, the piece is. I kind of like it. There we go. I'm gonna fuse. I just need to fuse where I added the color. Can you hear my little one in the background? I don't know if you can or not. I'm using my mic, so I'm hoping you can't, but he's like talking to his toys out there. Okay. It's beautiful. I really like it, and I thought, well, we've already made it this similar. Let's add another saying. And this one says, see possibility everywhere. I just like that. So pressing that into the wax, and then we're going to add some wax on top. trying to finish off the whole piece. You can see that the pattern of that paper is much more visible than it was in our last project. So I'm really glad that I tried that, putting the pigment underneath it rather than just saying, well, that didn't work, and kind of throwing it out. I found another way to use it, and I think I really like it. It's subtle, you know, it's not like the main attraction of the piece, but I don't want it to be. It's just a background element. You kind of like, oh, poppies, and then when you get closer to it, you're like, oh, there's something else in there. And I think that's really fun. So melted the little wax a little bit. I think I had like a bead or something of wax there. It was kind of standing up, and you can use your heat gun to move wax away from objects. And so I think I actually was trying to move some of the wax off of those poppies so they pop a little bit more. So that's, I think, what I was doing there. And I think this piece turned out really pretty, and I think it will look really good with the other one that we did last week. So I hope you guys have an awesome week and that you find time to relax and do something fun. And here it is, and you can definitely see that pattern in the paper. So I will see you guys next time. Bye!